Can the worst possible Charizard beat the entire game of Pokemon Yellow on 0 DVs and minimum battles? Now everybody expected me to say no TMs, but this one is actually impossible on those settings, because Charizard is hard-walled by Misty. Without TMs, its strongest attacking move there is Scratch, and Misty's only the beginning of the troubles. We have to take down Blaine, we have to take down Giovanni, we have to take down Lorelei, and Lance is an absolute nightmare in this one. But let's see what it takes. Let's see if we can beat the game first on minimum battles, then by adding optional battles, and finally, let's go for an optimizing run. Does Charizard finish at the top of the list, or is it going to be relegated to a B tier finish? There's only one way to find out. Let's get into it. Professor Oak saw a dragon flying out of Valeria, so he caught it in a Pokeball, and we got our starting Pokemon.
Now I'm going to name my Charizard Balerion, off of the dragon from Game of Thrones. I love Game of Thrones books. The TV show was meh, but Balerion the Dread, come on. And here against Rival 1, obviously, we're gonna just move Ember into the top spot and just start burning this little Eevee down. It has no chance. We took it down, and now we have only one required fight in this next section, which will be a Bug Catcher. So let's move on to the first Bug Catcher. Here, we're going to use Ember. It's 2 Embers to knock out that Caterpie, and we level up to level 8. That's a huge advantage because we're at a higher level, meaning that we're going to have higher stats. And we can see that with 18 special, we're not doing too bad, and 21 speed, we're all right at this point. So here, in the Brock fight, I'm going to go ahead and lead off with a couple of growls to lower his attack. Now I'm going into Ember. I'm hoping for some burns, maybe some attack drops. I don't get it. But here against the Onix, he uses Bide. Perfect. I'm just going to spam a bunch of Embers and growls. Basically, whenever it's in Bide, I'm just going to spam Ember or Leer in order to lower its attack and defense. And the rest of the time, I'm going to just try to get Ember. If we can burn him, that will be perfect, but we didn't need it. First attempt victory. We have no resets, we're through the first gym. But now we have to move on to Misty. And the issue against Misty is that Ember and Scratch will not be strong enough. I decided to try this one first without TMs though. Let's just see if we can find a way to get through that fight. But if worse comes to worse, we're gonna go Dig. Dig will be incredibly useful because it's also going to help us out a lot against some of the other threats in the game. Dig will be super effective against Blaine's team. Dig will be good against the Nidos on Giovanni's team. Dig is going to be incredibly important for Agatha. So those 3 factors together make me think that if we struggle against Misty with our level up moveset, we're just going to have to add Dig and go from there. Because we have a lot of things to check here. This one I'm checking to see if it can beat the game on minimum battles. But then my next test is to see if it can beat the game without TMs. Basically, I want to do one of each and then try to optimize this one. So here, the Super Nerd, I'm just going to go straight into Ember, and let's just wreck this guy. There we go. And now he's got a Voltorb out, no problem. We're just going to completely crush it. And yeah, these are not hard fights. Very, very easy. We take the Dome Fossil because, gotta protect your dome, guys. And let's get to Jesse and James, where these guys are just another cakewalk. I mean, rap, okay, yeah, you can rap. And now we're gonna just take on this Meowth and completely destroy it. And now Coughing. Hey, you're easy. And we get through that fight. We're still on no resets, but I think this is all gonna come to a crashing halt very soon. So, for now, we're gonna make our way to Cerulean City, and let's get into the fight with Rival 2. There's no way we're taking on Misty at this point. She's got smart AI, she's just gonna use water moves, so it's time for Rival 2. Here, in this fight, I'm going to go ahead and lead off with Ember against the Spearow. It's a 3-hit KO. It's looking like a 2-hitter there on Sandshrew, and 2 hits on Rattata. And now we get a crit, so it's 3 hits on the Eevee, probably a 4-hitter without the crit. So that gets us through that section, and now we can get a bunch more experience. Any fire type that goes up against Misty is kind of hard. We saw way back in the Ponyta run that Ponyta needed a Gen 1 miss with the Bide in order to get through Misty on 0 DVs. And We've seen with Arcanine that Dig was the play to get through Misty. So there are a lot of Pokemon in the game that cannot do the 0 DVs minimum battles, no TMs run. They have to sacrifice on something. We've been doing a lot of Pokemon recently with Jinx, Muck, Alakazam, where the thing they had to sacrifice on was minimum battles. They couldn't beat Brock on minimum battles, and therefore the minimum battles dream was done. But there are a lot of Pokemon that could beat the game on minimum battles, but they couldn't do it without TMs. And Charizard is an excellent example of that, because its typing and its moveset really leave a lot to be desired. So here we've just leveled up to learn Rage, which I'm gonna learn over Scratch. That's probably a mistake, but you know, it's a level up move. At least if we take some hits, if we can survive some hits, we could get Rage to become stronger than another move like Scratch. But Rage is kind of quirky too, so who knows. Yeah, in general, I'm always going to try one minimum battles run, then one no TMs run, and then optimize the whole thing, because we can say, well, we beat the game on minimum battles with this. Let's take on Rival 3 really quickly. Here, I'm going to start off with some growls to lower his attack, and then after I've gotten his growls set up, I'm going to now try to use Rage. And because he's doing very little damage, especially with a move like Fury Attack, Rage is just going to get stronger and stronger. So Sand Attack is bad though, because if Rage misses even once, it basically stops hitting for the rest of the fight. So that was an attempt. We took our first reset there. I'm just going to go into Ember now. Ember is clearly the play, not Rage. I thought it was worth just taking an attempt at that, but no, it's so bad. Now, the problem is that we have no options at this point. We just have to fight Misty. And fighting Misty with a Charizard, she can use one X defend per Pokemon. She'll only use one though. It's not like Koga will use multiple X attacks or anything like that. So we have to be able to beat her with at most getting her to just use an X defend one time. And we're gonna see, I think, that our moveset just isn't enough. And Scratch wouldn't have been enough either. Don't worry. Oh, you learned Rage. No. It really does not matter. So I try the Rage strat first, and we can see that we're taking decent damage from Water Gun, but my hope was that maybe with the right setup we could get enough attack that Rage would allow us to get through this fight. But it seems to depend, at least to some degree, on her use of X defense, and of course Bubble Beam can just end us right there. So let's take another attempt at this. I'm at least going to give it a decent shot and see, like, maybe Ember does more. Okay, critical hit, but that doesn't quite take it down. I go for Leer and then go into Rage. But the problem is that we have to be able to take a lot of hits here in order to have a shot. So I decide in this one, let's keep on minimum battles. Let's go for Dig. Dig is going to be important later in the game anyway. We can just forget Rage. Who needs it? And now, what happens when you have Dig in this situation instead? Well, it's pretty darn simple. You dig and one shot, and then dig. And this one is, without that X defend, a 2-hit KO, but it's a 3-hit KO with Dig. Dig makes this incredibly easy. So why would I break down with Dig though? I mean, there were a couple of those that looked like maybe Rage could eventually get through. Well, the answer is pretty simple. I am looking at the situation of not just Misty. I'm thinking about the late game, where there are going to be a lot of situations where a ground type move is going to be incredibly important. So I'm still trying to keep the TMs to a minimum as I go through, but my goal here is really to stay on minimum battles, if at all possible. Here against the Rock Tunnel Hiker, obviously the simplest strategy is just to go Dig, right? He can self-destruct while we're underground, or we can one-shot his Pokemon, because we have good attack. So, yep, he uses Defense Curl. Rock Throw does so much damage, but we get through. Nice. So, let's try Ms. Erika. Let's see if we get any resets here or not. So I just go in without even healing. We get a burn turn 1 against Tangela, meaning its attack stat has been cut in half. It misses the next turn. There it goes. Now we are going straight into Ember. This is a 3-hitter on the Weepin' Bell. And now it's looking like a 3-hitter on Gloom. And we get knocked out on the first attempt. That was kind of bad. And this has me thinking, okay, well, we just needed more health. If we were on full health, we would have gotten through that one with no problem. So let's try it again. Here, we're just going to use Ember. Bind doesn't do that much. We get another miss. She uses Super Potion this time, though. Ranges are what they are. So we're actually at lower health going into Weepin' Bell. But now Dig does a lot more damage than Ember does, because Dig is neutrally effective, and the stab bonus doesn't really matter, but we took a defense drop, so we get knocked out a second time. Okay, so we need a better move. Well, we have access to a better stab move right here. We could get something like Hyper Beam, and that would be fine too, but we may end up going Fly. For now, let's just take on the Rocket Game Corner though, because there's some free experience here, and if we get a couple extra levels, we could probably get through this section without too much trouble, I hope. So here, Jesse and James, I'm going Dig. Here we can Ember on Meowth, and then I think it's just a matter of Dig right here. Perfect, we take down the Ekans. Now for Giovanni himself, here's what we want to do. We want to go Dig on the Onix. It's not a one-hit KO, so it took an Ember after that. Now we Dig, and yet again, not a one-hit KO on Rhyhorn. And now Dig is our strongest move. I set up one Leer and then go into Dig. It's still not a one-hit KO on the Persian. So we're starting to see that we're just not doing enough damage to a lot of opponents. And this has me a little bit nervous because, yeah, we could end up in a situation where we're just not doing enough damage to our opponents and giving them shots to knock us out, basically. Okay. So we are on to Lieutenant Surge. Let's try this one. Here, I'm going Dig, guys. Dig. Dig, dig, dig. He uses X speed, but it's a one-shot with Dig. There we go. So here, against Erika, my strategy is now not to use Ember, it's to use Fly. Because we have a stab bonus, but Fly is only 95% accurate, so it can miss. Yay. So here, Fly one-shots Weepin' Bell, and it's a one-shot on Gloom. So Fly is clearly the solution there. It completely wrecks that fight. We could also go Hyper Beam if we really wanted to, if we wanted to gather up money and get it from the Rocket Game Corner. But now we're going to move on to the Pokemon Tower in Lavender, where we still have to take on Rival 4, and I don't think he's going to be terribly hard. So here, I'm going to lead off with Ember against this Fearow, because if it used Mirror Move, it would do less damage. Now Dig on Magnemite's a one-shot. Here, we're going to use Dig on Shelter. It uses Withdraw a bunch of times, but we managed to knock it out. I use Fly on Sandshrew. It's not quite a one-hitter. And now here, I'm going to use Fly on the Eevee. And you got to keep in mind, with the same type attack bonus, Fly is slightly stronger than Dig would be. And now we can use all of our Digs here on Jesse and James, because basically, I mean, outside of Meowth, where we can just Fly and one-shot it, here they're all weak to ground, so we're just going to use Dig and wreck the poison types. But it's not a one-shot on the Weezing, even with 2x super effective. It just doesn't one-shot. That gives you an idea of kind of what we're going to be looking at when we get to Giovanni. And it's got me thinking that Swords Dance might have to be part of our set here. We've already gone TMs, so at this point it's really about what are logical TMs. What are TMs that make sense? And here, let's try Koga, and let's just see, can Fly one-shot things? No. Fly is not a one-hit KO at this point on his Venonats. It is with a crit, but it doesn't do that much. And yeah, now Venomoth is only going to use Psychic as an attacking move against us, because his AI tells him that, hey, bug-type moves are resisted by fire and flying, so he's not going to use Leech Life. And that means that we're going to be in this situation where once we get there, we're going to have to survive some Psychics. There, We're not on full health, it's worth noting, but crits or him using X attacks is perfectly fine. And yep, there's the X attack, perfect. Ember takes him down, and now we just need to... Oh, we burned the Venomoth, yes. Oh, and we get to fly, yes, and we're gonna fly up in the air and let him go down to the burn. There we go. So we have beaten Koga. We're on only 10 resets, so we're doing a lot better than a lot of other Pokemon at this point, but that was expected to be one of the easier gyms. Let's just be real. Koga was not supposed to be the hard gym on this one. The hard gyms are still coming up, and the Elite Four, which is going to be insane, is still coming up. You have to understand that this is kind of the best case scenario for a fire Pokemon in Gen 1. Because the flying type nullifies our weakness to ground. It does exacerbate our weakness to rock type moves, but there aren't actually that many rock type Pokemon that we have to fight that actually use rock type moves in the game. Then you add on the fact that Charizard is the only fully evolved fire type that is in the medium slow level up group, meaning that it actually levels up faster in this section of the game than a Pokemon like Ninetales, a Pokemon like Arcanine, a Pokemon like Magmar, a Pokemon like Moltres. We're actually kind of in the best possible situation here with a fire type. So if Charizard is really, really bad in this run, that's going to tell you that all fire types are basically going to be really, really bad. Unless it comes specifically down to ice moves or rock type moves wrecking us. In that case, we might be able to go either way, or might be able to argue something else could be better, but yeah. So here, Charizard, moving in on Rival 5. Let's see how this goes. So, first things first, I'm checking to see how much Slash does. I'm checking to see how much Ember does. I just need to figure out what the range to get through that one is. Now, Ember is going to be neutrally effective against Cloyster, but if it uses Clamp, we just get wrecked. But this is the spot where I'm already thinking I might have to go get Swords Dance. Because we've already gone into TMs, right? Like, that's unavoidable. Nothing to do there. And, sorry, I'm just checking to see where I last saved so that I can go back and get access to this Swords Dance TM. But basically, Swords Dance could be the key because it will allow us to raise our attack stat. The problem is, what do we forget? And honestly, Slash is the move, because Slash can't really work with Swords Dance, I think, but maybe Ember's the move. It's kind of a tough choice. Dig and Fly give us a lot of type coverage, so I just forget Slash for Swords Dance here. That might be a misplay in the long run. I'm not sure, but I think against Blaine, we're going to use Dig. So it kind of makes sense, right? Slash might have been good against Sabrina, but with a critical hit, it's not actually going to be that much stronger than everything else. So here I'm going to go for Swords Dance setup first. And okay, that was bad that we took a Sand Attack, but now we can just go into Fly strats. We get a critical hit there on the Cloyster though. Let's try this again. Basically after this, we have a move to handle everything. If we can just get through this Sand Slash without getting completely wrecked, that's a one-shot, okay. Fly, that's almost a one-shot. Okay, it's a two-shot. Now we're gonna Dig. That's a one-shot. Now we can Fly, and that's a one-shot. And now let's Dig, and that's a one-shot. Probably should have used Dig on the Alakazam, not Fly. Definitely a slight misplay, slight inaccuracy there, but we get through, and we're on only 14 resets at this point. So here, let's take on Giovanni, where we can get into this one, and Dig should do the job right there. Here, I think I'm going to go for some Embers on the Persian. We get the burn, which is nice. Here, I decide to set up Swords Dance on the Rhyhorn, because it can only use Tail Whip and Stomp and Horn Attack. It's not going to do that much. And now, with all the Swords Dances, one Dig takes out both Rhyhorn and Nidoqueen. And we have gotten through that section of the game. Now the question is, who do we take on next? And I decide that, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and just go down to Blaine. Okay, let's get into this fight with Blaine, where the strategy is pretty simple. I'm trying to set up Swords Dance. Once I get Swords Dance set up, now I'm outspeeding. I can dig, and that's a one-shot, but we've leveled up, which is kind of bad. We lost our badge boost in speed. Oh, so here I'm going to use one rare candy so that I don't have that level up in the middle of the fight. Like, that's what's killing me at this point. Without that, I can now just set up purely on the Ninetales, and now we should outspeed everything, and just dig is a one-shot, dig is another one-shot. Now let's see if it one-shots Arcanine. No, it's a two-hitter, even with all of the setup. And he used Reflect, but it didn't matter in the end. And now we have to make our way to Sabrina, where this is another one that's going to be kind of hard if we take a bunch of accuracy drops. I'm not sure what the best play is here. So here I start off by just, okay, fly one shots the Abra. Now I can set up Swords Dance. I set up one Swords Dance in one shot there. And now I dig. She used an X defend, but I have no accuracy drops. So I set up the last Swords Dance here. She's using Recover. She's already set up Reflect, but we get through Sabrina on the first attempt. That was not bad. 18 resets to this point, and we're through 7 gyms. Giovanni is going to be the hardest gym leader, I think, by far, though. And, yeah, this is kind of the last section of what I think is going to be the easy part of the game. From here on out, like, after we get through this black belt, this is just going to be an absolute murderer's row for our Charizard. And this is where Arcanine broke down and it had to use Double Team. This is where a lot of Pokemon just hit a wall. Here now we have the advantage that we can set up Swords Dance here because Dugtrio cannot actually hit us with anything. We are immune to moves like Dig, Earthquake, and Fissure because we're a flying type. So here we've taken one accuracy drop. He misses with Thunder, that was nice. Here we're going to use Dig, that's a one-shot on the Nidoking. We leveled up, but it was a one-shot on the Rhydon. We got through Giovanni on the first attempt, even with a Sand Attack. That was dope. But it all comes down to the fact that Dugtrio cannot hit Flying-type Pokemon. If we were a normal, just pure Fire type, we would have gotten wrecked there. But we'll take it. We'll take it. We'll take it. We'll take it. On to Rival 5, or Rival 6, sorry. We are going to set up our Swords Dances on the Sandslash. Definitely the best play. Fly, not quite a one-shot. Now against the Execute, Fly will be a one-shot. Now on to Cloyster, I'm gonna Fly. It used Withdraw, that's fine. We just take it out in 2 hits instead. We can now learn Flamethrower, so we learned that over Ember. We're gonna use Dig on Magneton. Now Fly on the Kadabra, we outspeed. And finally a Dig and one-shot the Flareon. We get through Rival 6, no problem. No problem at all, that is ridiculous. I have some confidence now, actually, but Lorelei might shatter my confidence. Basically, what I think we need to happen on Lorelei, we need to get Dugong to go to sleep. If we can get Dugong to go to sleep, because her AI is not pure smart AI with the Dugong. The Dugong's AI is changed in Pokemon Yellow, where it just kind of randomizes between its attacks, and it especially loves to rest on turn 2. If we can take advantage of that and get all of our setup with Swords Dance, then we might be able to just sweep her team. And that is probably our best case scenario. So let's get into the Lorelei fight and find out. So first, without leveling up, Flamethrower does that much, Aurora Beam does that much, Swords Dance, but we just get completely wrecked. The whole point is that we need her to use Rest, though, I think. But I'm not going to waste time. I'm just going to go straight into Rare Candies right here to try to get better ranges. And now we can learn Fire Spin. And I'm going to learn Fire Spin over Flamethrower because we could lock her in with Fire Spin, and that could create the situation where we can actually get her into a range to knock out her Dugong. Fire Spin doesn't do a ton of damage, but that's not really the point. We're setting up some Swords Dances here, and now Fly takes that one down. Fly does not take that one down because of a critical hit. Let's try this again. Man, we're up to 40 resets on this. We've more than doubled our resets. And this is with TMs, guys. Like, this is with everything. We would not be doing this well without TMs. And we're still getting just completely wrecked. Okay, Fly knocks that one out. Now Fire Spin needs to connect. It misses. Okay, but we survive an Ice Beam. Now we fly and wreck. Okay. Now this is our first shot at the Slowbro. It uses Withdraw, but that's fine. We wreck it. Now against Jinx we outspeed, Fly one-shots. And now again, Lapras is really bulky. So, like, I'm debating what to do. Fortunately, Fly was enough after one Fire Spin to knock it out. We have finally gotten through Lorelei. We're on 40 resets. Now we have to move on to Bruno. And this one is going to be exciting, let me tell you. Like, Bruno is usually the easiest gym leader or easiest Elite Four member, but this one could be different. If he just goes Rock Slide, we probably get wrecked. Oh, it did over half damage. Now we use Screech and Rock Slide. That's right, we lost to Bruno. I knew that we would lose to Bruno at least once in this one. This one all comes down to, can we use Swords Dance? Dig cannot affect us. So, once we get him in that range, we can just dig and knock him out. Fly is a one-shot there. Fly is always pretty much going to be a one-shot on Hitmonlee. We're going to dig. The second Onix doesn't know dig, so that's fine. And now we fly and one-shot on the Machamp because of all of our attack boosts. That was fine. We got through Bruno with no troubles whatsoever with our Charizard. I mean, other than the one where we got 2 Rock Slides from his first Onix and got wrecked. So, yeah. Now, Agatha shouldn't be too hard. This Gengar really can't do that much. It can confuse us. We could knock ourselves out from all of our attack boosts. That's the biggest thing that I'm actually worried about. Okay, we've got all the Swords Dance set up. Now, why did I dig? No, that was a misplay. I needed Fly. Now we can go dig on everything else. And it should be a collection of one-shots, basically. Because everything doesn't have enough defense to stand up to 3 Swords Dances plus dig. There we go, we get through Agatha on the first attempt. We're on 41 resets as we go into Lance's chambers. Now we have to see if it is possible to beat Lance. He's going to lead off with Hydro Pump, and you just got to understand, his team is so much better here than in Red and Blue. If this was Red and Blue, my strategy would be simple. I would go Fire Spin over and over and over again on the Gyarados until I got in the range to one-shot it and knock it out. And then for all the rest of its Pokemon, I would just set up on the first Dragonair, because the Dragonair, what's it going to do? Hyper Beam? You know, as long as I don't have a bunch of defense drops, which I won't, I could just get through that. Here, I'm trying to go for the Fire Spin strats on Gyarados, but the other issue is that Fire Spin's not that accurate, so we would expect that trying to go Fire Spin here is going to result in a lot of resets. Here we got a Hydro Pump miss, which has me thinking a little bit, but one Hydro Pump wrecks us from full health. Here, we're going to use the rest of our rare candies on this fight, because we're clearly not getting through at our current level. But it's not like we get a bunch, we're only at level 59, and still Hydro Pump is a one-hit KO. So, it's not like we were close, and maybe it won't be a one-hitter if we, you know, get the right kind of setup or whatever. No. Hydro Pump is just going to wreck us, no matter what we do. But I've tested the ranges now, I've seen what Fly does. We can't use Dig, obviously, because Gyarados is a flying-type Pokemon. So we're just trying to see, okay, all of this together, what kind of ranges can we get? And yeah, we've gotten it down in a range where Fly does knock it out. Okay, so now we're on to the first Dragonair. Thunderbolt does decent damage. Thunder Wave paralyzes us. Now Thunderbolt, which means with paralysis, this is going to be pretty bad. And now Ice Beam wrecks us on the second Dragonair. So clearly we can't set up on that Dragonair, because it's just going to wreck us with electric type attacks. Okay, well now if we set up one Swords Dance, we actually survive one hit from the Gyarados. It's probably a range, but we did manage to survive that. for example, and we won't have to worry about Earthquake from the champion Sandslash. And the benefit of that is, of course, that we can get ourselves in a situation where, you know, we just have to survive the water moves. But just surviving the water moves is incredibly difficult. Here I decided to try to go for Fire Spin on the Aerodactyl because I do outspeed. So it's possible that I could just Fire Spin it and take it out that way. Now he Hyper Potions, which sucks, but it's also possible that we miss with Fire Spin and he uses Fly, and then we know, because we already outspeed, that we can just use Fly and wreck him because he can't dodge. Now, here we are going to get through to the Dragonite. Nice! Here, I go for Fire Spin first. I'm just trying to whittle it down a little bit. I don't know if we'll be able to do enough damage with Fly to wreck it. We can't use Dig because, again, it's a flying type Pokemon. We've got 2 more PP. Okay. And now Fly. And it survived. No! And we get wrecked. Oh my god, it's because we only had 2 Swords Dances there. If we had 3 Swords Dances, again, that's a win. Oh god. And yeah. We clearly can eventually. Okay, so I go for 1 Fire Spin to guarantee that the Fly will be a one-hitter. Dig is a one-shot. Dig is another one-shot. 1 more Swords Dance. He flies. That's nice. Okay, now I can use Fly. He wing attacks. So now I'm going to go into Fire Spins because, yeah. He's used a Hyper Potion, so now he can't use Hyper Potions. We miss, but he flies, and now we can use Fly and wreck him. So now it's just about the Fire Spins. Can we get the Fire Spin to work? Come on. Come on. And Fly, we take him down. Finally, we beat Lance on 313 resets. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Okay. Okay, but we're still alive. we're Lapras tier. We're HM Mule tier, but we are still alive. Without Devil Team. Okay, so let's get to the champion. Where now, clearly, we have to go Swords Dance here. We don't want to be poisoned. And now we can go Fly. I mean, I probably should go Dig here. He doesn't know Swift anymore. But we just got all the critical hits there. That was stupid. Like, we don't want to crit at that point. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 Swords Dances. Now Fly. One-shots, okay. Fly is also a one-shot there. Fly is a one-shot there. Dig is a one-shot there. Fly is... oh my god, not a one-shot on the Cloyster. Okay. So, now what we have to do... we still have to set up all of our Swords Dance here. Please don't get poisoned. Okay. Now, I should have gone for Dig, not Fly, but that's fine. Okay, Dig. There we go. Now, Fly is going to be a one-shot there on Exeggutor. Dig is a one-shot here. We know that. Now, Fire Spin. Oh, Clamp missed. That was good. I'm basically trying to Fire Spin this one into a range where I'm confident that Fly will one-shot. There we go. Now Dig. He used Reflect and Dig missed. We got a Gen 1 miss, but we got through. We have beaten Blue Cheese with our Charizard. That's right. We have beaten the game. We didn't have to use Double Team. We didn't have to go completely broken strats, but this was stupid. Okay. Hyper Beam is part of the next run, and we're going to try to find out, before we do that run, before the optimizing run with Hyper Beam, I'm going to try to beat the game without TMs. So I'm going to pop 10 rare candies right now, and you might think this is insane, like you're going clear up to level 69. You know, it's not just because it's nice, it's because I actually think I need all these levels. But there's only one way to find out. Let's get into the fight with Lancey Boy.
So my strategy here is going to definitely be to lead off with Fire Spin because we are a 2-hit KO from Hydro Pump. Even with all these levels. So, yeah. I think we can slash it down now. Cool. Now against this Dragonair number 1. Similar strat. Oh, and it used Thunder Wave on me. Rip. Okay. Let's just see how much damage Slash does. About half with the crit. Okay. How about here? Not quite a one-hitter. So on each of these Dragonairs, it's really just land one Fire Spin and then knock them out. On the Gyarados, we just need to get it down to half health. And you might be saying, well, why are you so obsessed with like trying to get through the Gyarados without damage? It's because of what comes later. Okay. But here, this should just be land one Fire Spin and then slash. Here too, we're just trying to land one Fire Spin and then slash. Here I'm going for Flamethrower immediately. And now here, I think we have to whittle this one down. Oh, Thunder did so much damage. Blizzard missed. Oh, but now Blizzard hit. Okay. But this is actually looking like it's possible at this level. Which is good. It's not easy at this level, but it's possible. And that's all I really ask for. You know? Okay. Not if our Fire Spin decides to miss every time, though. And I mean, it is only 70% accurate, so we're gonna have some runs like this. But still, on 28 resets right now, this is not too bad. Oh, Hydro Pump missed. Nice. Nice! Come on. Fire Spin. Get him down into the range. Okay, now I think we slash. Good. And Fire Spin. Okay. Get in the range. Nice. Just trying to get these guys in the range. And then knock them out. So now, Aerodactyl. I'll use Fly. Rip. Okay. My goal is to get this one in the range where Flamethrower can wreck it. And now we need the Fire Spins to do their job. Dragonite has more defense than Gyarados did, which is why I think we need to get it down even lower. There, we got it. Okay. So, Lancey Boy, at level 69, he does go down without too much trouble. And now we can max Elixir and save the game. And it's on to the champion at a very nice level. Nice. Nice, guys. Oh, we got this. So here, I'm going to start off with a Fire Spin on Sandslash. I'm going to slash on that one. I'm going to Fire Spin here to try to avoid being put to sleep if Fire Spin can hit. Now Flamethrower does the job. Cool. Oh man, we took so much damage. Okay. Flamethrower, nice. Oh, and Fire Spin missed. Okay. We just need the Fire Spin hits. If we get the Fire Spin hits, we're golden here. Here, Slash will finish that one. Slash will finish that one. Fire Spin will whittle this one down a little bit. Nice. Not sure. We might just technically be able to go for Flamethrower and wreck that one. Here, I'm just trying to be safe, guys. And Flamethrower, cool. Now I think Slash and Slash does the job, and there we go at level 70. We beat the entire game. That's 10 levels lower than Mr. Mime without TMs, mind you. So we know that level 70 is the cap. We know that level 61 minimum battles is the bottom. So now we know that any optimizations are just going to fall kind of between these two levels. So what does this have me thinking? Well, let's look at our learn set for a minute and think about this. What are our most effective moves to learn? Definitely Dig in order to get through Misty. Makes perfect sense. We probably want to replace Slash with Hyper Beam. We probably want to learn Swords Dance over Rage. Right? If we put Swords Dance where Rage is, then we should be able to just set up on that Sand Slash on the champion and sweep. Then, I mean, Fire Spin's important. Fire Spin lets us get things into the range. And then either Earthquake or Hyper Beam, depending on where we're at in the run. Okay, so we've knocked out the required bug catcher, but I'm going to take on one more bug catcher. This boyo right here. It's got 3 Pokemon, and we should be able to wreck them very, very easily. And there we go. We're level 10 now. Going into Brock, we're 2 levels higher than we otherwise would be with only 1 optional battle. I think 2 levels for 1 battle is a pretty fair trade-off. And now we can go straight in here, and let's take on Brocky Boy. So here, I'm going to lead off with some growls, of course. Now I'm going to go in my Ember spam, where we should be able to take down this Geodude nice and easy. And now we're going to growl at the Onix to lower its damage output as much as possible. And it's used Bite, so I'm going to use Leer. Now I'm going to start using Ember. I've burned it once. That's nice. And we get through. Very nice. So, no resets on Brocky Boy, and we're up to level 12. Nice. Dig, and dig. There we go. Will we learn Rage? No, we will not learn Rage. Even though I'm filled with rage, I will not learn Rage. That would be a mistake. Okay. So here... Now, I don't think I actually need Body Slam. I'm going to skip Body Slam because we're going to get Hyper Beam. Nobody needs Body Slam when you got Hyper Beam. But I do want to fight this boyo. And look at that dig. And look at that dig. There we go. Okay, we get the extra rare candy, which is going to help late game, I think. Okay. So now, on to Misty herself, where the game plan against Staryu is to dig, and that's a one-hitter. And we outsped Starmie, and a critical hit dig knocks her out. There we go. We are through Misty with no resets so far. And this moveset actually has me feeling pretty confident that we might just be able to go down and take on Lieutenant Surge. Okay, let's get into this fight and find out. Hopefully he goes like X speed turn 1 or something stupid. Nope, he goes Thunderbolt. Okay, Thunderbolt one-shots. Okay, Mega Kick. Oh, he's not a one-hitter. No. But a critical hit does take him down. So, okay, 2 resets there, but not too bad. 2 resets is really nothing. So we're just going to go up to the 5th floor first in order to get the card key. Now dig and Ember. Perfect. And now we're not going to dig out. We're going to go up 2 floors right here. And we get Swords Dance. Nice. So we're going to learn Swords Dance over Leer. Hey, there we go. We have enough. We can pop over here. Let's buy the Hyper Beam TM. And nice. I'm just going to, like I said, teach it over Ember right now. We have Fly to be a stab move, and yeah, this should work fine. So I'm going to go to Fuchsia first, I think, and I'm going to take on the jugglers in here, where I think Hyper Beam's going to let us just wreck. So I'm going to, yeah, oh, look at the Hyper Beam spam. And there's no reason to learn Slash because we has Hyper Beam. So yes, Hyper Beam's not perfectly accurate, but that's also why we have PP ups. Now, Hyper Beam's also going to be better than Fly here against Koga, I think, because he's probably going to use Toxic on me. And Hyper Beam is going to... As long as Hyper Beam knocks them out, we don't have to recharge, and we don't have to take a bunch of Toxic damage. So, yeah. Swords Dance, Swords Dance, Swords Dance, Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam. Fly? Okay. Fly. Oh, and we wreck him. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Sorry, Fly is just technically stronger. And if I'm not affected by Toxic, Fly is good. We just want to use Hyper Beam to avoid Toxic damage, basically. So here we can go on to Rivalry 5, I think. This should be okay. I hope. Basically, we're just hoping to take down his team by spamming Hyper Beam. But let's see if it works. So here, Swords Dance, Swords Dance, Swords Dance, Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam. Here, Dig. Here, Hyper Beam. And here, Hyper Beam. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Swords Dance Hyper Beam for the win against Rival 5 there. He never had a chance, guys. Okay, so we have gotten the secret key. I'm going to go into Blaney Boy's gym, where we should just do the quiz to get through all of these guys. I don't think we need to take any optional battles just yet. Honestly, if we take any optional battles, we're probably going to take them against the Elite Four, is my goal at least. Maybe in Giovanni's gym, but I think we should be able to get through. So let's just see. Here. I'm going to go one Swords Dance, and Hyper Beam did not one hit here. Okay, but Dig did take that one down. Okay, we get wrecked on the first one, but let's go for maybe 2 Swords Dances. Swords Dance, Swords Dance. Okay, we wreck that one. And we knock ourselves out because of confusion. That's the problem with Swords Dance against the Ninetales, is confusion. Okay, and without Swords Dance, it's not strong enough to one-shot. Okay, so let's try this again here. Swords Dance. Now Dig is a one-shot. Here, Swords Dance, and now Dig. And now Dig. And we take it down. There we go. That was the solution. There we go. 1 Swords Dance on Ninetales, 1 Swords Dance on Rapidash, and win. So Giovanni, his first Dugtrio cannot actually do any damage to a flying type Pokemon. It's a very good exploit in this version of the game, which means that we can just set up all of the Swords Dances. We're just hoping not to get sand attacked, basically. So Swords Dance 1, of course, Sand Attack. My arch nemesis. Okay, and Hyper Beam is not quite a one-hitter there. Okay, but we do take that one down. And we missed with Dig. Okay, but now Dig hits. Okay. And we take him down on the first attempt in spite of the sand attack? Are you kidding me? Nice. Oh, that's good. The Swords Dance plus Dig was the play there. So now it's on to Rivalry 6, where I think the game plan is basically Swords Dance, Swords Dance, Swords Dance. Okay, that critical hit hurt, but now Hyper Beam. Now Fly. Oh, Fly missed. Rip. Here, I'm going to learn Flamethrower over... over Dig. We can always learn Earthquake later. Okay. Hyper Beam will just wreck there. Hyper Beam will wreck there. And Hyper Beam didn't quite wreck there. Okay, that was a little scary. But we did get through without a reset. So we'll take it, I guess. I guess we'll take it. We're still on 5 resets. And we've only taken 2 optional battles so far. One to get an extra rare candy, and one before Brock, just to make him a little more consistent. But this is also where we might have to start taking some optional battles, so let's just start with getting our full restores, and I'm going to pop all but maybe one of the rare candies right now. All but 2. I'm going to keep 2 in my pocket. So... I will learn Fire Spin for now. Could be useful in some niche cases, so... Okay, so we're going to save right here, and then we're going to try Lorelei. Okay, we got wrecked on the first one, but it looks like we can survive 2 hits here from the Dugong, as long as they're not crits. Okay, we got wrecked. Let's try this again. So I said my strategy was to fly, and there we go, we got the rest. Now Hyper Beam. Now Hyper Beam's not quite a one-hitter there. Okay. But this is, I think, the strat, guys. We fly turn 1. She uses rest. Good. Now we can set up the 3rd Swords Dance. Now I think Hyper Beam just wrecks. Okay. And we get through. There we go. So Lorelei goes down. So I'm going to full restore here. And now we need to make a decision. But I think I'm just going to stick with Hyper Beam here. And I'm going to learn Earthquake over Fire Spin. I think this is the play, guys. So here, let's just try this. Where Swords Dance, Dig doesn't affect us. We can just waste another Swords Dance, and now an Earthquake. Now Fly. Fly on Hitmonlee as well. Earthquake here. And now Fly on the Machamp is the easy win. Cool. So now, I think we just... Well, I don't think we even need a PP up, do we? Let's just restore PP to be safe, so... Elixir, nice. Okay, and save, and let's get into this fight with Agatha, where I think we just Earthquake there. Here I think we Hyper Beam, nice. Earthquake. Earthquake. It holds on with just a sliver. So I think I just Earthquake again. And then Earthquake, oh, we just took down her entire team. We didn't even need to Swords Dance there. That was nice. So... So now, we have... Rock Slide. Oh, but we can't learn Rock Slide. Why did I think I could learn Rock Slide? RIP. Okay. Then, new plan. We're gonna have to try to take down this team. Hey... Okay, so we got wrecked on that one. We really just want him to fly with his Aerodactyl, since we already outspeed. Oh god, and Fly missed. Wait just a second, am I on full health? No, I'm not. What the heck am I doing? Okay, let's try this again. So Swords Dance, critical hit Hydro Pump will wreck us every time. But remember, it has a 10% chance to miss. Okay. But that was a critical hit Hyper Beam, which we don't need. We need a non-critical hit Hyper Beam. Ooh, but it's a range? What? What? Okay, that's bad. Because we were getting the range earlier. Okay, so... Oh, there. He missed, but then he got the crit. That was bad. If he doesn't get that crit, I think we're just sweeping the team. Okay. So now that's a guaranteed one-hitter. Oh, but we get paralyzed. Are you kidding me? Hyper Beam giving us the miss. Okay. We don't need the critical hit there. Here, this is all just about RNG, guys. Okay, we took that one down, we took that one down, we took that one down. Swords Dance, and we just need him to use Fly there. I think we're gonna go for 2 Swords Dances here, though. I think that is the play. He has a 10% chance to miss twice in a row, or we give him 2 10% chances to miss with his Hydro Pump. There we go. Now that wrecks. Now that wrecks. Now that did not quite wreck. And we crit. No, come on. We just need him to miss 1 of 2, I think, and we're good to go. Okay. So that's 1 hitter, 1 hitter, 1 hitter. Now let's try to set up the last one here. Okay. And, oh, there we go, there we go. That was the strat, okay. Because basically, if he doesn't use Hyper Beam, we're good against the Aerodactyl. Because think about it. If he flies, well, we've set up our 3rd Swords Dance, and then we can just fly and hit him because we're going to outspeed. And if he uses Wing Attack, and it's not a crit, we're going to survive. So we're really only worried about Hyper Beam there. So cool, 26 resets going into the champion without that many optional battles. So just 2 optional battles, so half a point there. Yeah, we're doing fine. Okay, so let's get into the champion fight and see how this goes. I think our strat is pretty obvious. Swords Dance, Swords Dance. We've been poisoned. Okay, but now... Oh, Hyper Beam did not one-shot him? What? Oh, and we didn't recover PP, okay. So sorry guys, I need to recover my PP. Let's try this one again. Let's go for a better range here. Okay, Slash kinda sucks, but... Okay, now that's a 1-hitter. That's a 1-hitter. Fly is a 1-hitter. Earthquake should be a 1-hitter. Hyper Beam. Hyper Beam. There we go, boys. Level 63. Only 27 resets. And let's see, how many TMs did we add? We added, in this one, all 4 of our moves right now are TMs. And we added Dig. So 5 TMs. So let's see where this puts us actually on the tier list with this final run. So when we did this originally, it was way down here. It was just at the top of the B tier, slightly above HM Mule and Lapras with no TMs, but with 3 TMs to do that and with 315 resets. Then the second run, where we took optional battles and we did no TMs, we actually ended up in the A tier with 30 resets and 56 optional battles, giving an 83 overall score. But here for the final run, we got this sub 1 hour. We got 27 resets. We used 5 TMs, but we only took 2 optional battles and we get 91.8. Are you kidding me? That is optimization if I've ever seen it. I mean, yes, could we get slightly better if I knew some of these battles' ranges just a little bit better? Sure. Yeah. But this is pretty darn good. If we get up into the S tier, we know that this Pokemon's absolutely crushing. And if you played a Charizard in any sort of normal way, taking any sort of reasonable battles, using reasonable TMs, you just completely destroy the game. It's not even difficult to do that. So, yeah. Charizard. Certified killer out here in the streets. So, with that being done, I think all we need to do is answer the most important question. You know it. I know it. You know what I'm thinking. And I know what you're thinking. How's this Charizard gonna do against Mewtwo? So, we're just gonna make our way down here, and I'm very interested now. In Pokemon Red and Blue, I was finding like random walls that I could walk through and whatnot. It was rather interesting. You know, obviously this whole section has been redesigned here, but I'm now very interested to find out if there are any walls that I can walk through in this section. Because, yeah, that was very, very interesting. See, I think they redesigned this so that you wouldn't walk through walls. It's probably why they did the whole new layout of this area, was to prevent you from walking through walls, because they made some sort of error, some sort of glitch in the original one. Because they don't have anything that's quite the same structurally as it was in Pokemon Red and Blue, where something just wasn't working right. Okay, so here we are. Mewtwo, let's take him on. I'm going Swords Dance. Hyper Beam? Oh, Swords Dance into Hyper Beam wrecked. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We finished the game, level 63. And, yeah, that was not bad at all. So, yeah. Not only is Charizard my favorite of the Gen 1 starters, it might just be the best Gen 1 starter for the full game. We'll have to see. I think, Venusaur might give it a run for its money. Blastoise might be good too, but Charizard was no slouch with optimizations. Very, very smooth run. Very simple strategies. And, yeah. I mean, it's one that came from so far down on minimum battles with TMs up to beating the game with no TMs. It made it an A-tier Pokemon. Once you get in the A tier, we're just trying to see if we can get to S tier. That's all we're trying to see, but, you know, B to A to S, that's a nice progression. So, anyway, hope you guys enjoy this one, and I'll post this up for members first. You know how it is. See you in the next video. Later.